Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 32 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling series. As it is going to be my favorite episode going into this, I am so fucking excited for this show. Wrestle Kingdom, we are here, and after, what's it probably been now? Close to, probably over 300 shows, or not 300 shows. Maybe, though, yeah, way over. Gonna be 320. Over 300 shows into the save, and you really get the gist of everything getting built up to this show as far as having all that time. We're going to be almost in year two by the time we get to March 2022, but I feel like we've built up a lot. I feel like this show on paper should be very well. The main might not deliver as far as compared to some of the rest of the stuff on the card, but I think as far as everything, as far as it being feeling like a actual big time show, I think we actually did a really good job with that. As I just to let everybody know, we're not gonna like book the show as far as showing the booking of the show. For this episode, we're just gonna kind of run it as a Wrestle Kingdom show. We're gonna run it instead of seeing me put it together because I think everybody knows the card. We're not adding anything new or anything like that. We're just gonna have a lot of fun with it. But before we get to that, though, we do have the tour goals to go through, or the not the tour goals to go through, the actual first two Road 2 shows of Wrestle Kingdom. But I will say this: I don't know what as far as the full card of New Year's Dash. So once we get Wrestle Kingdom run and everything kind of settles with that, we'll take a break and make sure everything's kind of ready to go for the New Year's Dash. But we will try to book that as far as we'll try, fingers crossed, to at least show some type of booking being done on like a major show, quote unquote, with New Year's Dash. It's not going to be on the same level as Wrestle Kingdom, but it's still going to be pretty good. As we do have graphics for the show, and we'll start off with the opener as to kind of prelude what happened here. Eddie Kingston at the final, so that would be yesterday as far as in the game here. But for the final New Japan Strong of the year, he issued an open challenge to anybody in the wrestling world to challenge him at the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom 16. So we'll see what it is. As far as we just have a placeholder, we have X to see who's going to take on Eddie Kingston. That is for the New Japan Strong Openweight title. The one thing about this graphic is I wish I would have done is fixed the size of the little as far as the what it says like New Japan Strong title matchup, because now obviously we would have loved to put open weight title match to make that make sense. So it kind of squished it a little bit, but yeah, that is going to kick off the show. Very excited to see how that plays out. I think it's going to be a fun little surprise as for that matchup. Then the next matchup, Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title matchup, is Alex Shelley, Kaji D'Amato of Liberty United taking on Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix of the Lucha Brothers of course, Task Force Death as well. I was a little nervous about having a tag team kind of graphic with this because I really didn't have any plans to add like the two extra little. I still don't know what I'm going to call whatever design I make because I didn't want to make it a square, and so I kind of went with like a ribbon, like a flag type of design. I'm just going to call it a flag as far as for that, the little towers. And it kind of worked out well for everything. Maybe I could have went with like the little square instead, but either way it works out. As for the Liberty United logo there, we needed to make a logo. It took a while to kind of get that logo the way I wanted it to. So that's at least we get to see it, and at least it's going to get some use because we're going to put it in the game as well. So now Liberty United's going to have a little logo for their little group, and they'll have their little own custom little thing. So that's fun. But that's a match I'm very much looking forward to seeing. So our next matchup for the Rev Pro British Heavyweight title matchup is the British Heavyweight Champion Zack Sabre Jr. looking to defend his belt against Jay White. Jay White looking to make a big impact for this Wrestle Kingdom. Of course, a guy who came up short not once but twice at our previous Wrestle Kingdoms for the 2-day 15 Wrestle Kingdom shows, as that was as far as looking to bounce back in a big way, taking on the United Master. I just kind of wanted to have something with Liberty, or to have something with the United Empire, and have something to where it kind of alluded to that. So I just went the United Master instead, because it's like Technical Wizard we could obviously do, and You do all that, but I just wanted to at least create something new for our game. But yeah, Jay White, Switchblade, of course, part of House of Torture, looking to make a big splash, and beat Zack Sabre Jr. That would be very, very big. Obviously, it's not actually for the Rev Pro British Heavyweight title because the TEW has its limitations. Thanks a lot, Adam Ryland. As for our never open weight title matchup, the Big Enforcer, Powery of the Foundation, taking on the Exalted One, Brody Lee. As I'm very, very excited to see how this one plays out. That took so long to do that Brody graphic, and I hate that I cut a little bit too much close to the belt in his suit, so now there's kind of like a hole in between it. If I would have just kept it black, no one would have known if it's the suit or it would have just been perfect, but now there's a slit in the middle, and I could have fixed that easily, but I just, I spent way too much time on these graphics. I was just like, let's fucking just push it out there, which I didn't do, because that graphic is almost perfect, and it pains me that it's not. But, yeah, it should be a very fun match there. We did a little Black Panther-esque little logo for the Foundation with the Black Panther with the Black Panther font, and also with the color design as well from that. So that's fun. As for our junior heavyweight title matchup, Jason Lee, the Kung Fu Dragon, looking to make a big splash against Pac. Can he beat, arguably, one of the greatest junior heavyweights that's ever lived, as far as one of the greatest junior heavyweight champions of all time for New Japan. He's had the belt for quite a while, will be 365 days when Wrestle Kingdom comes up. Will he keep it for one more year? Will Jason Lee shock the world and beat Pac? I'm very excited to see how that one plays out. Is then our IWGP Tag Team title matchup. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Katsura Shibata, taking on Joe Doring and Shotaro Ashino of Task Force Death. Of course, Tanahashi and Shibata winning the Tag League, but this is much more personal than that. This is New Japan, Team New Japan, as far as two of New Japan's favorite sons, and Hiroshi Tanahashi and Katsura Shibata taking on the Task Force Death leaders, really, in the sense of Joe Doring and Shotaro Ashino. This is a big time matchup, and for not only for this belt, but for bragging rights as well, and for the fate of New Japan. Almost in the 50th year now, as far as we'll be there once for New Japan once we get into 2022. But to have something like that, Task Force Death, this group that has been established to take down New Japan from the inside out, and they have two of New Japan's biggest stars teaming up. Former, as far as from the new generation Three Musketeers, then Shibata leaves, and then Tanahashi gets pissed at him, and is still legitimate pissed when he comes back. But then they mend their differences, and they come together again after Shibata's, technically it was kind of around when they had the big time match in 2013, 2014. But really, once Shibata's injury happens too, I think it brought them a little closer as well, and just kind of the realistic nature of how dangerous that is. Which, speaking, of dangerous spots and saddening injuries, Shinjiro Otani, still, as far as it's been a full day, and he still has not regained control of his limbs, which is very, very saddening, and it's very, very scary to hear that. Hopefully, something can happen there, but, just Shinjiro Otani, one of the best junior heavyweights of the 90s, for sure, one of the greatest technical juniors there's ever been. A guy that I have enjoyed for a long time now. I never would have suspected something like that, and just sucks to see that. But for hopefully there is a successful story, a successful end to that story, and Shinjiro Otani does in fact regain control of his limbs. But that is just not good at all. As for our Intercontinental title match, I think that match there, the IWGP Tag Team title matchup story, it writes itself, and I feel like it concluding at a Wrestle Kingdom, these two, because this was supposed to happen, of course, back at the Wrestle Dynasty show, and Tanahashi got hurt during the tour, in came Ren Narita to be a not so great replacement, but this should be a very fun match, though, as our Intercontinental title matchup between two LIJ members, It's the Cold Skull, Sonata, taking on the Ticking Time Bomb, Hiromu Takahashi. Of course, these two men having requested this match from Los Ingobernables Napoli standpoint. Sonata requesting that matchup gives to Hiromu Takahashi, wanting to break the long streak of Sonata never having a singles matchup in New Japan Pro Wrestling since he's been a part of the company. And that is a streak that's gone on way too long. And for him to potentially break that at the biggest show of the year would be a great story for him. Here's someone that has been a part of the company. Yes, that's 2016. That is a long, long time to be waiting for a singles belt, and someone that talented too. Can he do it here, or will Sonata drop the ball and Hiromu Takahashi continue this incredible reign that he has had as an Intercontinental Champion? We shall see. As our next matchup, and a big-time matchup, this is a main event, not once but twice on Wrestle Kingdom shows before, but now it is not even the co-main event. It's such a jam-packed card. IWGP United States title matchup, Tetsuya Naito versus Kazuchika Okada. For the first time in this series, facing off at Wrestle Kingdom, fighting off each other. As far as with these two men, of course, they've had back-to-back Dominion matches for 2020 and 2021, and for Kazuchika Okada and Tetsuya Naito, they both come into those matches as far as having, with Okada and with Naito, as far as Okada and Naito and this new wrinkle of the story being involved for the U.S. title matchup between these two men, Tetsuya Naito, Kazuchika Okada. This is, it writes itself. It writes itself. It doesn't get any really bigger than this, but it somehow does. As the former Golden Lovers compete in the Tokyo Dome. They've been all over the world as far as have competed in the Nippon Budokan. Their rivalry dates back all the way to 2008. And in those 3 matches beforehand, as far as 2008, I want to say it's 2012, the Nippon Budokan DDT match. Maybe it's 2014. It was early 2010s. I don't know why I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm going to say it's 2012. And, of course, the G1 matchup that happened at Nippon Budokan again. But they face each other for what could be a final time. For Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion in this world, in the mod, in this save right now. And someone that didn't want to put his title on the line. This is more than championships for him. This is more than championships for Kota Ibushi. This is about, for Kenny Omega, to finally beat Kota Ibushi and to have this dream match, this dream scenario really for Kenny Omega to be able to beat Kota Ibushi at the Tokyo Dome, the biggest show of the year in Japanese pro wrestling. That's his goal. That's his vision. Is he going to be able to complete it? He wanted to beat Kazuchika Okada for the U.S. title, of course, the Wrestle Dynasty, and was short in that goal. Came up short, losing to Kazuchika Okada. With Kota Ibushi, looking to the man who has been so loyal to a man that has cost him so many matches. Back to the AJ Styles matchup. He wins the New Japan Cup, goes on to face AJ Styles, and a Bullet Club Kenny Omega distracts him, going for his Phoenix Splash, gets caught by AJ Styles in the Styles Clutch, which was an awesome spot, but cost him the championship. And then, of course, dating back to now this save, a couple of months ago, not even a couple of months ago, a month ago, costing Kota Ibushi Intercontinental title matchup with Hiromu Takahashi, turning his back on him again, all for jealousy, all for the need to beat that man in the Tokyo Dome, and to beat him finally in a singles matchup. Will he do it, or Kota Ibushi be the golden star that he is and get a huge win over Kenny Omega yet again? The former Golden Lovers are going to be golden adversaries for this night. And our main event, for the IWGP Heavyweight title, of course. The G1 Climax winner, Shingo Takagi, taking on Kenta, as the man who has had quite the run. I mean, talk about a back half of 2021, starting at Dominion, turning his back on Bullet Club, joining the hot-handed Task Force Death, and then in fact, beating Kota Ibushi for the heavyweight title, continuing that reign and joining a incredibly hot group, but Shingo Takagi, shockingly, winning the G1 Climax, having a tremendous year, but also a year in where a lot of people have probably expected more from the Dragon, and maybe he will answer the call here tonight and be the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Could be a big night for Los Ingobernables de opponent. Either way, someone's going to walk out as the Intercontinental Champion, potential U.S. Champion Tetsuya Naito, and a potential Heavyweight Champion in Shingo Takagi. That would be quite the event for Los Ingobernables de opponent, but we shall see, as now we get to go through all this in reverse order, just to kind of get everything off the screen. And there we go. I kind of went out of order for a little bit there, but that's okay. Yeah, as for, I don't know why I hit that, that was weird, yeah, let's get on with the tour in this episode. Even though it's only going to be, 4 shows this episode, we still want to take our time a little bit as far as, telling our stories that's happening on this show. As far as this episode, it's already 16 minutes, we haven't even booked anything, but, I feel like this is a big-time episode. It's a historic episode in the sense it's our biggest show of the year, and you want to have, years of stories being told on this show, and I feel like every story needs its chance to be told, so that's kind of what I'm thinking as far as what that goes, but let's get on with the tour now, as we do have one match that's pre-booked for this Road 2 show. We got our backstage incident as well. Satoshi Kojima, Hayato Tamura. Kojima passing on tips on selling to his protege Hayato Tamura. Way to go, as we had an 8-man, a Bullet Club Chaos 8-man, as of course, it's for the double, it was Jay White, Kenta, Tama Tonga, Taiji Shimoi, and El Phantasmo. It's crazy, 2 of those guys no longer part of the company. And, Death Triangle, Mecha Blood 6-man, it's pretty awesome. Sublime Destroyer, Shotaro Shino beating Hayato Tamura, Robbie Eagles over Kenta Koben, and then Goji against the Gods War, another team that's probably going to be, or another people that will be leaving us as well. But as far as our show, we don't want to run in Kanto, I know that much. As far as everything else is pretty much fair game. Yeah, I mean, Osaka's probably a good idea. This United Empire House to Torture matchup obviously building up, Jay White and Zack Sabre Jr. So Zack going to be beating Drew Parker in 20 minutes. Could be a main event for sure, but for now we're just going to keep it like that. As I would like to see maybe Kingston team with somebody from Task Force Death. Like, I think that could be a fun little 6-man maybe, or even an 8-man, perhaps. Because we could do, let's say, Jason Lee, Flo Taguchi on this other, I think Taguchi may be here. Oh no, he's not. I was thinking Taguchi was third. And then have Shibata, Tanahashi. Then, of course, as far as I always forget that we don't have them established as a team. We probably should, though, because they probably have, at least 50 or so experience by now. Shotaro Shino, Joe Doring, and then Pac. And, you should probably do Pac down here. And Eddie Kingston. As for the matchup, we're going to give it to Kingston over Ryusuke Taguchi. This is a nice little co-main, though. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. I would cry. I would absolutely cry. As for now, kind of the rest of the card, I want to focus on guys that are not on the final show. Not on the Wrestle Kingdom card, unfortunately, for them. As, yeah, I mean, I think it looks fine, though, as far as the little USA flag in the background and get the bit of the logo. You can't really tell from there, but at least the United is clear as day. I think as far as Maybe something with Disciples of Darkness. Because there's also going to be, obviously we're going to have our New Japan Rumble. We're going to have the Gauntlet match. The New Japan's, or I guess the Never Openweight 6-man titles will be decided in a Gauntlet match on New Year's Dash. So not at Wrestle Kingdom. So changing that up a little bit. But definitely would like to have Calvin Tankman on this card, as they will be taking on the team of Miro and Brody King, which... that maybe not. Now I'm thinking about it. I think Miro and Brody King should take on United Rage. Now I'm looking at this. So yeah, House of Del. This is back at we did this at Wrestle Grand Slam. Wow, I completely forgot about that. But House of Torture got the win there in that matchup, and probably not gonna happen this time around though, as we're gonna give the win to the Great O'Khan, beating Brody King. Shout out Great O'Khan. Just the absolute best. Get him a win. Give that man a win. But Miro's going to do a great job as far as elevating everything else in that matchup. It's crazy. Now, Miro's kind of trajectory, making his big debut at Wrestle Kingdom, and then beating Tanahashi, the returning Tanahashi from injury, on the second night. It's just crazy to think where his kind of career has gone. Since then, not being on the main card now. But I'd like to see Fujinami and Master Wato. So we'll go with the Dragon Masters. Yeah, I mean, Alex Reynolds and John Silver's not a bad option. Not a bad call. As far as, because they've never had a match before. And this could be like a little steal the show matchup. So we're going to have Fujinami get the win over the Dark Order team. So we'll need one more, which will probably be a Young Lions matchup, and then a Technical Masterclass matchup. Let's see here. We might have the returning, as far as, like, somewhat, as, maybe Yoshida. Yoshida might get the chopping block, to be honest. He's going to be almost 30, as, I think I forget when his birthday is, to be honest, but I want to say it's maybe March, I want to say. So I feel like he's almost about to turn 30. So having a 30-year-old with not really a lot of great skill, not a lot of great pop, he's not really doing a whole lot. He's someone that we probably shouldn't be using all that much. We got a lot of other, we have almost 100 active members of the roster. We have a shit ton of people, and we need to really be using people wisely. That is for sure. As I know, I just looked up his birthday's in September. So we got a while before he's 30. But still, we want to keep that. I mean, it's really, it will get here sooner than we think. But he'll beat Kosai Fujita, though. In 10. In our Technical Masterclass matchup. Would like to get some of the old guard on here. That'd be nice. Maybe even the Chaotic Pitbulls. Or maybe Goto, Yoshihashi. They could use some good momentum going their way. Even though they are not really that great technically. But they could face the Yasutaka in Yuto. Yeah, 16. Really doesn't matter which one gets the win there, as long as it's not the Young Lions. That would be unfortunate. Alright. That's the... I mean, it's gonna get saved by that, by the main and co-main for sure, but it's not gonna be the greatest thing in the world. Yeah, 35 there's Goto. I mean, Yasutaka Yano outperformed Yoshihashi. That's embarrassing, Yoshihashi. Very, very embarrassing. I got a 30 here for Yoshida. Goes after Vegeta. They're just not really over enough. But at least Yoshida's doing a little bit better than I imagined he would have, to be honest. I thought he was still going to do like in the 30s. It's a 40 for Dragon Masters against Alex Reynolds and John Silver. Probably should have gave that one to Dark Order. But, it was Fujinami at least outperformed Alex Reynolds, so at least that kind of, that made sense. It made up for it. The 65 for United Rage against the House of Torture. Look at Katsuya Kitamura in the 50s now. There we go. Has Great Okan getting the win with the Cobra Clutch in 14-18. I mean, that did a lot better than I thought it was going to be. That's obviously mainly to Miro, but way to go, Katsuya Kitamura getting in the 50s, though. 77 for the 8-man, as with Jason Lee, Raisuke Taguchi, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Katsura Shibata losing the Task Force Death Team as Eddie Kingston with the backdrop driver over Raisuke Taguchi. Nice win for Kingston. He was the worst guy in the match, but that's a lot of fun. That's a really good match, though, as far as for a lot of great moving pieces. Pac being the best guy in the match. Shout out Pac. Best junior heavyweight in the world. On 77 here for our main as well. It's Jay White and Zach with 78s and 76s. 70s for Makabe and Ishimori. Two guys, again, that are very, very talented. And it's a shame they're not going to be involved in the product as well as far as our final show. But that's the way she goes. It's Jonathan Gresham with a 57 and 51 for Drew Parker. So, right guy taking the fall there. Taking the Sabre driver in 2018. Gains and Pop. Yeah, 74. Hell yeah. There's one more Road 2 show to go. And I believe it's, I think they're back-to-back. It might be Thursday, Saturday. We'll take a look here. We'll hang on before we end it out and just kind of see where we're at. Of course, everything loading up. I'm excited to see how the annual awards, we'll have to go through those as well. Just kind of see how everybody does. So, might not want to show that. But Cesaro, it's crazy. He's I'm just shocked that he's gonna evolve in IW Mid-South. Like AEW not giving him a call. We're not giving him a call. Just crazy to me. But yeah, let's we'll take a gander, see what it is. Oh, it's Tiger. That's right. We wouldn't have Tiger Mask 4 for something on the. He's just gonna be like an appearance thing. He's not gonna wrestle or anything. But yeah. Oh, it is this day. Perfect. So let's. Oh yeah. Tiger Mask is a little pissed since we let him go last time. But he's just a manager, so that's fine. On to the next tour date. So I think as far as probably something with Shingo and Kenta, and probably we could do Shingo and Naito against Kenta and Okada, but that'd be a little too crazy probably. Because I would like to maybe see Shingo with maybe Bushi, and then Kenta with, I guess, I don't know. I don't know. We'll kind of see. See what we got. But yeah, not Osaka either. We really don't have a lot of other venues that can really work there. Oh, we can run here, because it looks like the economy's a bit falling, and at least the wrestling industry's kind of getting better, but it probably won't be a sellout, but it will still be good enough, I hopefully we'll say that. As for our main, Shingo. Yeah, let's do Shingo and Naito. Or maybe we could either do Shingo with Bushi or Naito with Bushi. I think we're gonna go with Naito and Bushi. Because I want to say, yeah, because we did Okada and Rocky as far as we did this match on the the World Tag League Final show. So maybe not. Now I'm thinking about it. Because we could do Shingo, and then Kenta, and then we can either use Bushi, we could use Phoenix, we could even use Shota Umino. Yeah, let's use Shota Umino, fuck it. Fuck it, as Shingo can beat Shota Umino. Gonna be a carry job on that one. So, I mean, we could probably... Weirdly, that's not going to be the main, because I think having Naito with Sonata and Hiromu against a 6-man team of Okada, Ishii. And let's see, who will be that 6th guy? Because, it probably should be Goto. Probably should be him. About to say, we've done this probably, oh wow. I don't see a 6-man of this. First time meeting. Very good match here. But we're going to have Hiromu beat Goto. But yeah, I think that's a really good matchup to have. As far as really the top. I got an idea. We're going to get rid of... we'll keep it, I guess. We could still do something else with this. But I would like to see a 6-man of Kota Ibushi. And then against the Elite. So go with the Bucks and Omega. Against the team of Kota Ibushi. And we gotta pick this wisely. I was thinking Ryu Lee and Ray Horus. That'd be cool. Don't want to use 1R8. Don't want to use the Dragon Masters either, to be fair. Maybe Super Iron Destroyers. Not a terrible idea. And we'll have Ibushi, Matt Jackson. Because, yeah, we did, as far as, yeah, we had the Omega and the Bucks beat Ibushi with 1R8 at the finals. So, I feel like that's a nice little changing point for Ibushi there. That's probably better co-main. So, we got our top 3, though, for sure. As for the kind of rest of the card, maybe have Dark Order as far as have Disciples of Darkness again. This time against, have them face a Foundation team. So we can have, for this one, probably be King Mo and Shelton. That will probably be much, which, by the same, I'm surprised we haven't done this as far as a tag match, because at the Tag League Finals we did the 6-man. Not a bad match, but obviously we want to give, you know, the Will Hobbs Calvin Tankman team the win. They're going to be King Mo there. Yeah, and then probably the Steal the Show matchup. Thinking a 6-man. Have the juniors of Dark Order, so Reynolds and Silver with Taurus. Against the juniors of the Foundation, so Yehai, Myron, and then I guess we're going to have to throw Lockhart in there. Yeah, he's a junior, so it still works. And we're going to give Black Taurus the win, because he really needs it out of all those guys. I mean, that's a fun 6-man, though, for what we've kind of built, because Yehai does well, Myron Reed does pretty well, and, you know, they do in the 50s, and so does Taurus, so could be a pretty good matchup. Another Young Lion matchup, as, let's see, as far as who we could use, I would love to see Kaiju D'Amato get a win over, we'll go with Ryoa Oiwa. Taking a loss there to Kaiju D'Amato, because he's Kaiju D'Amato. Yeah, I guess we don't need that to go all out. And in the Techno Masterclass matchup, yeah, maybe Suzuki-gun, as far as Minoru Suzuki. And, let's see, what do we get? As far as maybe Davey Boy. So I don't know if I want to do heavyweight junior or not. Because I think I sent Despy to CML for a little bit. Just because I was like, I don't think I'm going to use him. Which turned out I was going to use him. Because I think I sent him down. I sent Kitamura on vacation to try to get him. So actually, I think I sent all of the juniors down. Yeah, because I think I sent Doki and Despy down. Yeah, it looks like it. So we'll do Suzuki and Davey Boy, I guess. We could even do maybe, maybe Caristico. That's kind of, I was thinking now I just got a crazy ass, like, little junior tag match. Because I was thinking Caristico with Del Sol. And then, really, we could go with Francesco and Eagles. Because that'd probably be pretty good. This is better than using his Samurai Del Sol and Cinta de Ora. But Caristico will be getting the win. Doesn't really matter which one takes the fall. Very good match, though. Just realized we had 7 matches, I guess we're just gonna run our 7. And just say fuck it. Because I like everything that we have. Part of me wants to get rid of that LRJ Task Force Death Match. Yeah, let's just get rid of that. Alright. Let's on the show. 62, to kick off the show, is Caristico. Very good performance there, pitting Akira Francesco up to the springboard arm drag. 68, 55, 53, and then 43 for Francesco. 35 for Kaiju D'Amato. And Oiwa as the red eye for Kaiju D'Amato at 9:52. It's a fun finish for a young lion to take. It's a 54. I had a feeling this one was going to get hurt by not enough pop, especially with Lockhart. But everybody did really well but Darius. And which is weird because I really like Darius. But obviously we haven't really been building him up a whole lot in this save. It's Taurus getting the win over Darius Lockhart with the Infernal Suplex in 13:35. This is 61 for Will Hobbs, King Mo against Shelton Benjamin. Or Will Hobbs and Calvin Tankman, rather, over Shelton Benjamin and King Mo as Doomsday plunge for Will Hobbs in 15:37. Of course, Disciples of Darkness are killing it. The 77, the 6-man. Kotobushi with the Super Iron Destroyers beating the Young Bucks. Kotobushi pinning Matt Jackson after the last ride style Tiger Driver. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Kotobushi, best guy in the match. Outperforming Omega. Then 73 for Nick. 71 for Matt. 60 for Jeff Cobb. 59 for Toa Inare. And an 87. I mean, I figured it was going to be good, but I didn't think it was going to be that good, as everybody does really, really well. Okada with a 93, 82s for Hiromu and Naito, 73 for Sonata, 72 for Ishii, and 55 for Hiroki Goto. What a performance. Nice little show. And now we can go through the awards and on to Wrestle Kingdom. How fun. As, yeah, I mean, we're not even, it's great. We take like 20 minutes per show. It seems like I just clocked out. I was like, man, we're already at 38 minutes. We've only done 2 shows, but I think we could still be fine, go through the awards and whatnot. But we will, stop the recording now and get you guys there. What type of cursed shit is this? What in the world? Really? He's the guy? Jesus Christ. He had 98s, 99s? Him and Joe and him and... Yeah, just him and Joe are just a great team. 187. Man. That bums me out. That's crazy. That's another one there, Money in the Bank. Yeah, Braun and Brian. He just keeps on getting carried in tag matches. That's all I'm seeing. He's the worst guy in this match. What in the world? That's a bunch of shit. Wow, let's see who's the company of the year. Oh, well. Saw that one coming. Hey, the Bucks. Probably should be Joe Dorgan and Shuna, but they're not officially a team. It's a match of the year. That's SmackDown. Another tag match, of course, with Braun being the worst guy of that. Elimination Chamber. Nothing. We didn't have a show of the year, I guess. Young Wrestler, Blue Panther Jr. That makes sense. Cena, Veteran of the Year. Okay, that makes sense. That's Becky, female. Okay, Tokyo Joshi Perez. I could see that. Dos Caras Jr. Thin Bitter Wrestler of the Year. Vicky is Manager of the Year. Conan. Camel Bull Nakano. That's cool. Oh boy. Huh. Interesting. A GWF ref. Wow, I was referring. Is that just? Assuming that's just a progression. Oh my god. We might have to sign him. That's crazy. I mean, you could never have enough good refs. We can have him be on Strong or something. God damn, that's crazy. All right, so as far as we still have a couple of days left, but we can go through and see how we did. As far as our Okada was in the top 20 at least. That's a New Year's Dash match. I vaguely remember what that was. Really, that didn't go well. That must have been a shitty finish or something. That's why that got a 52. I've seen the Shino Pocket Phoenix. Figured that'd be pretty good. Yeah. I mean, what a year though. Kazuchika Okada is Mr. 500, 24 and 24. And of course, we only used Sheamus one time, but it was an 80 though. So at least he made a big imprint. It's crazy to think he got let go of AEW just out of nowhere. It's Pac though, 29th. I figured he'd be pretty high, but I don't even remember that Arm Attack Tour match. That must have been, it was the double count out. That probably cost him a little bit. Because I bet if we don't even look at New Japan, if we just go as far as, there we go. Oh, yeah, I mean, that probably... Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess it's off of highest rating. Maybe not. I don't know, but I can't believe Shitoro Shino. Talk about a guy that just worked a shit ton of matches. They worked some Wrestle 1 and Noah during the earlier part of the year. That's why I was like, my god. That's a lot of matches, though. That is a shit ton. But it's nice to see him there at 31. Hiromu, 33. I'm just curious who... Becky's doesn't crack the top 10. Dolph made it in the top 10. Man. Just a very underwhelming 1 and 2. I can't believe. I mean, Orton honestly deserves it. Probably the most that anybody. Mox lost more than he won. Poor guy. Yeah, I mean, it probably should be Cena. If you're looking at, because I think it probably should be Orton. Off of just he had the better average. His lowest was an 83, which was him and Braun. It just, yeah. I mean, I don't understand that at all. Don't understand it. But a lot of guys, at least as far as it's either going to be WWE or New Japan. Jay White's in the top 50 though. Omega cracks the top 50. AWA. Yeah, you're welcome, Omega, for your best match of the year. It's Kota Ibushi, a couple points below Omega. Zack's in the top 40. Genta, Shingo. Figured Shingo was probably up there so high because of his win-loss record, probably. But Sonata, though, 29-21. Tanahashi, 36. Yeah, we're just from 33 to all the way to 40. Nothing but New Japan guys. Young Bucks, 54-55. Probably should be Niccolo higher since he has a better average. Goto cracks the top 100. That's 56. Bushi, that's 62. That's crazy. Phoenix, Brody, Rusev, Hiki, Caristico. Jonathan Gresham is in the top 100. He has worked his ass off. He's everywhere. He's in the Crash. He's in Rev Pro. I can't sign him because it would destroy the Rev Pro deal. Probably should just get rid of that deal anyways and get a better deal, but that's alright. It's Pentagon Jr., 90th. Rocky Romero, Mr. 99. Ishimori, 112. Shibata's 118. Eels, 120. As far as, I'm just curious to see how far he's fallen. Oh, it shows it right there. I was about to say he's fell a couple of spots. Cobb's improved. Yeah, a lot of these guys improved. Well, actually, Pena dropped a little bit. Probably because that Autumn Attack match, the double count out, really fucked over a lot of people. That's crazy. That's a lot of matches for Caristico. Of course, working CMLL, Dragon Gate, for us a little bit. Yeah, that's... Big E fell. I figured he would. That was about the same. About the same. It fell back a little bit. Phoenix jumped up a little bit. I'm just surprised. I'm assuming because of this match, is the tag with, that's why Rocky and Bushi are up so high. Shelley, 130. I figured that'd be a little higher. He had a hell of a match with Pac. Well, it was the Standard Bearer for a while. Yeah, it's a pretty good record, too. He definitely jumped ahead compared to last year, for sure. Makabe wasn't even in the top 500 last year. And 134. Ariano, still making it. At very high, still in the 150. Oh, look at Toinari. Well, Aaron Henry being 163. That's Tankman and Hobbs, 172, 173. Kingston, 175. Benjamin dropping, of course, because he's not WWE anymore. Ray Horace having a shit ton of matches, a shit ton of wins. Well, of course, one of our matches at Fantastic Mania being his worst. Josh Alexander and Taguchi in the 205, 208. Dragon Lee, Drew Parker wasn't in the top 50 last year. Sujiura dropped down a little bit, actually. His best match was tied with this match for the Wrestle Grand Slam as far as All Japan, New Japan. It's Robbie Eagles, 252s, 264 for Black Taurus. He fell back a little bit. Hail Tamura, 269. Hell yeah, Moriarty. Togi Makabe. Poor Makabe only had 30 matches this year. If he didn't have the Giant Baba match, he'd probably been a little higher. But they did about the same. Great Khan at 296. Kojima. Katsuya Kitamura. I figured he'd have actually a losing record. Sensei Deora fell back a little bit. Yo fell back a little bit. So did Devin Young. Gaiji Yamato fell back. So we'll talk about him in a little bit, but Minoru Suzuki, Kalisto, Yoshihashi, god-awful. Francesco, fell back a little bit. Takeda and Jason Lee placed him for the first time. Alex Reynolds falling back a little bit. Sho fell back almost 200 spots. So did Taichi, so did Filthy Tom. I can't believe Master Wato made it. That's probably because of this match. Fujinami, I figured he'd be a little higher, to be honest. It's Flamita. It's Connor. Yujiro just barely makes it. And then Harada's number 500, and Gavin McGavin is 498. It's a good list of guys, though. Good list of fellas. On to Wrestle Kingdom we go. Alright, so this Wrestle Kingdom show, as I've just realized that the little logo in the top left is wrong, as it is, for the first time, a 30-man New Japan Rumble. And it goes 27:54, with the final four being Miro, Evil, Will Hobbs, and Hayato Tamura. Miro goes on a tear and is like, I want to say he was like one of the first 5 guys that entered. Eliminates like 10 of them. Goes on a tear. One of those people being Satoshi Kojima before Tamura's out there. And Tamura kind of has that circled in, and that's kind of the story that's building before. Really the big thing. Hobbs gets a lot of elimination, so does Evil. But really, there's a lot of people in this matchup. So it's got Hammerstone, Taurus, Bushi, Tankman, Drew Park, of course, Evil and Tamura, Goto, Josh Alexander, Katsuya Kitamura, Yano Fujinami, Takeda, Wado, Miro, of course, and then Robbie Eagles, Rocky Romero, Raisuke Taguchi, Satoshi Kojima, Shota Umino, Taichi Ishimori, the Great Okan, Togi Makabe, Tomoaki Hanma, Tora Tsujura, Toru Yano, Will Hobbs, Yo, and Yoshihashi. This is really the crowning for Heihachi Tamura, his first big victory, and really he doesn't get like a crazy amount of eliminations. He gets like 2 or 3. You know, like the kind of like a big one is he's a part of like a Tankman elimination, like him and a couple of other guys. It takes like 4 or 5 guys to take out Tankman. He's kind of like the big muscle of this one besides Miro. And basically Miro charges Tamura. He kind of sidesteps him, and Miro basically eliminates himself. Is basically how that would go. Yo strained his intercostal muscle, though, during that Rumble. A lot of people were pissed off about this Rumble, though. I know Miro was pissed, Bushi was pissed, Rocky, I think... No, actually, no, Rocky ended up being fine once we kept him strong. We had to keep, like, 9 people strong. But I think Goto, Evil, also, I want to say was pissed. Ishimori, for sure. There's a lot of them. But to open up the Tokyo Dome, we have, of course, the open challenge, and it's answered by Tomohiro Ishii, a man who's looking to get his first ever win in a singles matchup in the Tokyo Dome. Crazy. Absolutely insane that he lost at Wrestle Kingdom 8 against Makabe, then Shibata at 9, and I want to say he had one more. It was him and Zack at 13, that's right. As, yeah, because 9, it was Makabe and Ishii, and then 10, Shibata and Ishii, which, Makabe and Shibata both won those matches. And Zack beat him at Wrestle Kingdom 13, so that's 2019. Of course, then between 2020, 2021, he didn't have a singles match, and they did Evil and Ishii, of course, in real life, but obviously that was during Wrestle Kingdom 16, which we're booking here. And him and Kingston kick off the show, which I think that's a great opener. And Tomohiro Ishii makes history not only for himself, but makes history for the New Japan Strong Openweight title. And he's the first ever Japanese-born talent to win that belt, beating Eddie Kingston with a vertical drop brainbuster. I think this would be awesome for Kingston to have a big-time, match like this. And Ishii killed him, it wasn't even close, but I just feel like to have the first strong openweight champion that's a Japanese-born talent, Ishii makes a lot of sense. But that's a fun opener, though. I was hoping that'd be a little bit better. This show, rather, is long as hell. There's like 16 segments. It's 3 hours and 30 minutes, literally to the minute. It's a long one. Yeah, we really went above and beyond. And as for the next matchup, Junior Heavyweight title matchup, Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title matchup, as Alex Shelley getting the win for Liberty United. Him and Kaiji D'Amato beat the Lucha Brothers as Alex Shelley pinning Pentagon Jr. with a Shirin U. Alex Shelley, Kaiji D'Amato winning the IWGP Junior Heavyweight titles off of the Lucha Brothers. Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., great team, of course. I'm sure this isn't the last we see them in the junior tag division, but Shelley and Kaiji D'Amato, I just feel like they're such a fun team. What a moment, too. You have Kaiji D'Amato, Alex Shelley being on the big stage of the Tokyo Dome, even though we run Tokyo Dome so many times. Have we run the National Stadium before? I thought about running it here, but I just couldn't do it. But maybe next year. Maybe that'll be the first January 4th show to happen in the Tokyo, and then not in the Tokyo Dome. Have it be taking place in the National Stadium. Be pretty cool. As the Rev Pro British Heavyweight title matchup, it's an 80. As Zack Sabre Jr. beating Jay White in 22 minutes. Jay White does, in fact, indeed lose again. Zack Sabre Jr. getting a big win at the Tokyo Dome. It really was tough because it's like, well, Jay White could probably use the win, but Zack could use it as well. And Zack's been phenomenal, and we really haven't given him a whole lot. He's been strapped with the United Empire leading that, which, having the best technical wrestlers in the world, quote unquote, and then you have the Great Okan and Kitsuya Kitamura as like his muscle, but even Okan is still technically gifted though too. I just felt like we had to give him a bone here. So him and Jay White having a banger of a matchup. And then Power E of the Foundation beats Brody Lee with the big ending. And he is the first person to beat Brody as the Never Openweight champion. And Power E, I think it's safe to say he's probably the first African American Never Openweight champion, which is cool for that as far as for that accolade. But he's definitely earned it here, and beating Brody Lee. Didn't outperform him, but it's still a very, very good matchup. Again, the too short for the important match thing. That was tough. I figured it was going to be around the same thing anyway, so I figured 18 was fine there. The 73 for our junior heavyweight title matchup, as Jason Lee does in fact shock the world as he gets the win in 13:53 with the Hong Kong Tornado. So this was supposed to go 20, steal the show, but Jason Lee couldn't go that long. The shortest, or rather, the longest he could go to was about 14 minutes in a steal the show setting, which sucks, but huge win for Jason Lee. Hell of a run, though, for Pac. He made the belt. He's had some incredible matches throughout his run. Swept the block as the most wins in a block series for, as far as for the Best Super Juniors. Most wins, most points. He's a made guy. He certainly is a made guy with a 90 in-ring performance, almost doubling Jason Lee. But we're trying to make a guy, and sure, we could have had Makabe beat him and it been big, or even Shelly, or even Phoenix, but we went with the freshly debuted Jason Lee in a huge way, kind of like the way when Hiromu came back from excursion and fought Kushida at Wrestle Kingdom 11. Kind of that same kind of feel when we're fucking putting the rocket strap to Jason Lee and let's see what he can do, and type of thing. But that's a good match, though. Obviously, I knew Pac was going to bring it. I was hoping he'd do a little bit more with him, but obviously, you can only do so much. But I got the crowd buzzing as we have a little video promo from the man who birthed this company. And I can't believe he's not in the mod. I was going to have him be on it, but he's not in the mod because he is like it. Well, he actually is in the mod, but it says he's left the business and you can't talk him back into it, so we're just stuck. But he has a video promo talking, saying that Shin Nihon Pro Res has been going strong for 50 years, and he'll be damned if he'll see it in tonight against Task Force Death. And, talks about how he's seen the greatness of Tanahashi Shibata firsthand. He's seen them grow into the strong competitors they are today. And he gives some encouraging words, puts his own gimmicks over, and of course, has his entrance theme play for a little bit. Crowd pops. And that was our Lord and Savior, Tony Inoki, on the Titantron gimmick. But then out come, with Tanahashi's music, out come some of the past greats of New Japan Pro Wrestling: Tatsuya Fujinami, Yuji Nagata, Masahiro Chono, Jushin Liger, Tiger Mask. Kind of not just heavyweights, but also heavyweights and juniors, and some other guys too. But Fujinami wasn't in the mod either, which that was like, sons of bitches. But I think that's kind of a good crop of guys to kind of keep in mind. But having Chono, since we have Chono, and just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It would have been cool to maybe get Kaiju Muto in here, but that's okay. And also some more kind of Inokiism type guys, maybe, or just actual from Inoki's kind of hand. It's kind of funny, his hand picks pupil in Minoru Suzuki. We didn't even bother with that because it kind of been weird because obviously he's not a New Japan true born type guy, but that's kind of the idea. A little big time presentation, kind of also the 50 year celebration of New Japan as well. The match. Holy shit, it's a 90. Satoshi Tanahashi pinning Joe Doring with a high fly flow. Of course, it has to be Tanahashi, though. Thought about giving Shibata the win, but nah, it's got to be the ace. Still killing it. Best guy in the match. Hell yeah. It's a good win, and obviously it's tough because probably Task Force Death, they're the better team, but again, felt like their run had very much concluded. You're seeing a lot of title changes happening on this card. Literally every belt's changed so far, besides as far as New Japan's belts that have all changed hands so far. It's very much a changing of the guard type of show. But a 90, that's going to be tough to beat. The 78 for our Intercontinental title matchup. Sonata beating Hiromu Takahashi in 26-28 as he beats his LIJ brethren. And after a long, long time of waiting, from 2016, he has been waiting for this moment. It sucks that the ring psychology was not on display here. A bit disjointed going that long, but Hiromu killing it. Sonata doing really, really good too. So he wins his first ever singles belt, and he is brought to tears. He is breaking down, and Hiromu's the one. Puts the belt around him, raises his hand, really giving Sonata his moment. And it was the 70s. That was cool too. The segment did really well. So boy, we're getting into the meat potatoes of really this card now. So we got Tetsuya Naito, Kazuchika Okada. It's a 94. As Tetsuya Naito beating Kazuchika Okada again on the main stage at a Wrestle Kingdom show as he beats Kazuchika Okada with the Destino in 29-12. 95 for Kazuchika Okada, 92 for Tetsuya Naito. Tip of the fucking cap for that match. God damn it, Shinpei Nogami, as he was pretty weak. We might bring in Bull Nakano to kind of help bring the announcing up, even though she's just a color commentator. But I mean, Bull Nakano's awesome though too. But yeah, what a match! It's gonna be tough to beat, as we have a video package between these two. You know, the story we talked about it, basically the story of this matchup when we went through the card. Went through the graphics and whatnot, so we won't have to go through that again. But really, just a more like sit down. You get it. You've all seen a Wrestle Kingdom show. You know, they do the little video packages where they're kind of in the just kind of sit down kind of promos, if you will, but really just kind of going through like Tokyo and just kind of casually, filming stuff and talking about the the history and showing even the matches from the G1 match, and also showing the DDT match from 2008, and showing the promo of Omega challenging Ibushi, and them, coming back together as the Golden Lovers. The whole story shown there, and then like a 4 or 5, maybe not 4 or 5 minutes, maybe like a 3 to 4 minute video package in the match. Yeah, as Kenny Omega, he does it. It's not with the quartz wrap though. It is with a one-winged angel. There'll be a lot of kickouts, though, I think, in this time period. I mean, definitely Ibushi kicking out of the one-winged angel for sure has to happen. Thinking Omega's got it. He's just like, son of a bitch. He goes for like a top one, like one from the top rope or middle rope, one-winged angel. But Ibushi counters into a Rana. Crazy spots like that. Just the craziest shit you could think of between these two. Yeah, that's pretty on brand for what that match would be. Ibushi outperforming Kenny Omega, though afterwards, Omega is brought to tears. It's just the emotion. This man has been wanting this for decades to finally do it, and he beat him. And it sucks that this only got a 68, or I would not have even bothered. And Ibushi is the one to come over to embrace him. To forget what has happened with those two as far as Ibushi getting costed. Most, just some of the biggest moments of his career costed by that man. But the history and knowing that he's wanted this for so long, and they embrace. And Omega and Ibushi right off into the golden sunset. And that their story's been told. It's been told. And I think this is the final chapter for those two. As far as for New Japan and Japanese pro wrestling as a whole. One of the greatest Japanese pro wrestling stories ends here. In Wrestle Kingdom 16. It's our main event. 79. Shingo Takagi does it. He beats Kenta in 32-11 with the Made in Japan. And he is your new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Albeit probably not deserving, but we're trying to make some guys here. Another lack of psychology match. It was tough to top not only Okada and Naito, but the Gold Lovers match too, it didn't have a fucking prayer. We'll see how it does, though. It's still an 84 overall rating show. Everything that I wanted to deliver, pretty much delivered. I kind of set up the card to be like, all right, let's put the tag, then the Intercontinental, then, of course, the U.S., then the Golden Lovers. Honestly, Omega and Ibushi, they could have main evented. It really could have, but that would have been quite a disservice to the heavyweight title. And, it's crazy. Ishii and Kingston probably would have been a little bit better had we probably gave that a little bit more time. The Golden Lovers angle, it did what it needs to do. But all in all, a big night for a lot of people, though. Tomohiro Ishii logging out with some gold, getting his first win in the Tokyo Dome. Sonata getting his first belt, singles belt. New Japan. Shibata and Tanahashi beating Task Force Death and keeping the pride of New Japan alive and strong. Jason Lee beating Pac. A lot of stories told. Power E being the first African American never openweight champion and beating his friend in Brody Lee. But of course, obviously, that's a little behind the curtain, a little kayfabe. But and Shelley and Kaiji Yamato beating Lucha Brothers. That was probably the one title match I was like, oh, you probably don't need to change the belts there, but just felt like it was time. A lot of belts getting changed, though, every single one of them. And a lot of big-time moments, as far as Naito and Okada, having their match as well. A lot going on. Man, a lot of people are pissed, though, about that, about the pre-show, as far as, so maybe kind of think about that. It's going to be weird to talk about those guys, to try to get them mullied over. But for sure, Miro and Ishimori. Goto, maybe not so much, but I think giving Kenny Omega a little, hey, you did it. You beat him. Type of thing would be pretty awesome. Yeah, that's Wrestle Kingdom 16. It's in the books. I kind of forgot how 15 did the 2 nights. If it did better than 84. We'll take a quick look before we stop the recording. But that was sure did it deliver in the fact that was it like the greatest show ever? From a TEW standpoint, no, it did not. We've had much better shows in other series and whatnot, but it just felt like that was so final, and a lot of just stories being ended and told, and throughout that, I just really enjoyed that at that show. As far as it's been over 370 shows and building, trying to make Shingo Takagi. Sonata, getting his first singles championship, having the story of Task Force Death being told on that show. A lot of big stuff. But yeah, let's see what that Wrestle Kingdom show was. As far as it was 84 for the first night and a 78 for the second night, so yeah, but everything did obviously way, the main didn't do as well. That main was incredible in Ibushi and Naito. But yeah, Omega and Ibushi and Naito and Okada. A lot of great stuff. But now, on to New Year's Dash, which we should change to where it's now on on Saturday. So I forgot to do that. Miro's still pissed, so was Evil. So we'll change that as well. And look at you guys for the New Year's Dash show. Oh my, they got us in the Tokyo Dome. Well, we're not going to do that. We're not there yet. That's a tall fucking task. No, but we will keep it in Kanto, but I don't know if we should run Corkin or if we should run Budokan. I think we should run Budokan, though. That'd be pretty base. Just for the amount of money we'll make. But we should probably change that to, not a normal event, but that's okay. As the card, I almost forgot to show the card. Let's go over to this. As the card looks like this. So, we're going to kick off the show with an 8-man. Team Filthy, Josh Alexander, Tom Lawler, Daniel Garcia, Dominic Garrini against the Foundation. As looking to see how the Never Openweight champ can do against, as far as Team Filthy there, Foundation and Team Filthy, they had matches, obviously, kind of throughout all of 2021 on Strong, and just felt like it made sense. Then we're going to have the New Japan Never Openweight 6-man title gauntlet matchup, as that's going to be 8 teams. Of course, the champs, Tamura, Kojima, and Tenzan, will be ending out that 8th team. And yeah, I just feel like that's going to be a lot of fun. We're not going to give away what everything is just quite yet with that match, because there's going to be some fun stuff, hopefully, in that matchup. As a prelude to Fantastica Mania, somewhat, as air quotes, Mexa Blood are going to team with Makabe and Hanma. That's the weirdest fucking... I just was like, what team would that work with? Because this was the last match I kind of added to this card, and I was like, there's really nothing left. I guess we're just going to go with Makabe and Hanma. So that's how we got that equation in as far as that goes. But all of Liberty United that are healthy, poor Juice, he's still got 3 months left on the shelf. So it's going to be Alex Shelley, Kaiji D'Amato, Super Island Destroyers, and then Alexander Hammerstone. In a 6-man, after that, there's going to be a lot of 6-mans on this card. It's Jason Lee with Mystery Partners take on the Death Triangle of obviously Pac with the Lucha Brothers. That's going to be a fun one. That's going to be a lot of fun. As then the next 6-man, Dark Order, United Empire, Brody Lee, Alex Reynolds, Sean Silver against Zack Sabre Jr., Jonathan Gresham, and Daniel Makabe. Then we got an 8-man of LIJ versus Chaos, Bushi, Hiromu, Sanada, Naito against Kazuchika Okada, Roki Goto, Yoshihashi, and Rocky Romero. And finally, our champions, as far as our, wouldn't say main champions, but champions, as our tag champs, heavyweight champ, and never openweight, or New Japan Strong rather, openweight champion, team up in a dream team scenarios. Shibata, Tanahashi, Shingo, and Tomohiro Ishii take on Task Force Death, Kenta, Joe Doring, Shotaro Ashino, and Eddie Kingston. That will be a fun main event. As we have everything pre-booked but the gauntlet, which is fine. As far as I wanted to add the gauntlet anyways, and there's an angle I forgot to make, but that's okay. So the main event, as far as we have, let's see, I'm trying to find it. There it is. Shingo, Tanahashi, Shibata, and Tomohiro Ishii against Task Force Death, as Task Force Death will be taking another loss, as Shingo Takagi will be beating Shotaro Ashino. So after the show, the press conference for Task Force Death goes a bit awry, and there's a lot of blame game going on. They haven't really gone well. These past couple of days have not been a great day for Task Force Death. Junior champion lost his belts. The junior tag champs have lost their belts. The New Japan Strong openweight champion lost his belt. And, of course, the tag champs and the heavyweight champions. Everyone's fucking lost their belts. And having another loss tonight, as far as Joe Doring starts talking shit about Ashino, and Joe Doring's like, I beat, the heavyweight champion back in the G1, and he's kind of bringing up how we should have won tonight, and Ashino's talking shit. It's like, well, you cost us the tag team title matchup, and Kenta tries to calm down, and Kingston also tries to get involved and saying, like, we didn't join this group, being, his Death, the Strong style Death Riders of him, Homicide, and Shota Umino, that we didn't join this group for a bunch of fucking losers. What's going on? And Pac starts bickering at Joe Doring even, because obviously Pac is just like, well, I was the longest running champion of this group, so I don't know why everyone's bitching. We'll be back. And Doring's like, you beat nothing but a bunch of small guys. Like, if I was a junior heavyweight, I would crush every single one of you. And Pac's like, well, you seen how that went, as far as he's, talking about when he beat Joe Doring. And a lot of different, just a lot of strong-minded, strong-willed people. And when they came together with that common cause of destroying New Japan, and that task failed, they're kind of left their own devices, and it's not going well. That's just kind of the post-show kind of really thing there. Really the blame, Doring throwing a lot of blame out there. Kingston and him are bickering, and even the tag, the former tag champs, just, it's going bad. And there's even a pull apart between the Lucha Brothers, they have to pull back Pac, and like Ashino and Kingston have to pull, and they have to pull back Doring, and Kenta's just kind of shaking his head like, what the fuck is going on? It's that's just kind of the closing of the show, of their press conference. Co-main event, LIJ Chaos 8-man, as Bushi beats Yoshihashi, and Kazuchika Okada, he's a man who just lost his belt, and he's just kind of watching on the apron as Yoshihashi gets pinned by Bushi, and it looks so over it. He's so mentally defeated at what he's seen as Goto and Rocky get him up, get Yoshihashi up, as Okada's still on the apron, just kind of looking like he is just dazed. Like he's not there, as far as mentally. And they get him up, and they're kind of like, getting the ice on his neck and his shoulders, and Rocky's, and Goto, they're talking to him. Okada just finally steps in, and he's like tells them, he's like, hey, let's go to the back now. And then he grabs Yoshihashi's wrist from behind, spins him around, rainmakers him, just destroys him. As Goto and Rocky are shocked, but obviously are not going to be like, hey, let's, they don't join in. They're just shocked at what they just saw, as Okada looks down at him, just kind of kicks his boot at him, just gives him one more shot for good measure and leaves, and they follow him. And Yoshihashi is just left laying by himself, presumably kicked out of chaos. Is Yoshihashi there? I forgot the angle's gonna go. I don't know why I forgot that. That was weird. But then Brody and of Dark Order, Brody Lee, Alexander Reynolds, and John Silver taking on United Empire. Brody Lee beating Jonathan Gresham in 20 minutes. Wanted to give him a win back, as far as losing the Power E, just felt like it made sense. And the mystery partners in the debuting astronauts, Takuya Nomura, Fuminori Abe, have joined Jason Lee, and they are blast off. As obviously astronauts just kind of made sense to call them something, like that, like something like the original idea when I was just kind of jotting down like stable names. I had like Space Force X or something like that, which that's obviously fucking, we can't do that. And I was like, well, we could do like something like Blast Off, because I wanted to bring in the astronauts for a long time, just kind of waiting on the right moment. And then with Jason Lee, I think it's gonna be really fun, because they beat Task Force Death, as Fuminori Abe beats Pentagon Jr. We'll see how they do as far as ratings and whatnot, but that should be a lot of fun. Then Mexa Blood with Tomoaki Hanma and Togi Makabe beat the United Empire, or the United Empire, Liberty United, as Kaiji Yamato loses to Ryu Lee. So this is going to set up for a junior heavyweight tag team matchup between Ryu Lee and Ray Horace against Alex Shelley and Kaiji Yamato at Fantastica Mania. So we're building even to Fantastica Mania. We always got to keep building. It's not a time where we have to stop. So I'm just gonna go ahead and check, because we are literally have 9 more matches to put together. So I'll just go ahead and make this a 3-hour show. So to start off, we'll actually kind of start from the beginning. As the first 6-man, we'll just go ahead and make. Oh, we had the Battle Royal thing up for the fucking New Japan Rumble. So the first 6-man, so out comes Fujinami, Master Wato, and Taguchi. They're the first team. The next team that comes out is Top Flight. And they, stop and look and just kind of wait for their person. And it's the returning from in-ring action and returning to New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hayato Junior Fujita, man himself, and they're going to be called They're going to be called Flight Club, not Fight Club, Flight Club. I just felt like that'd be a lot of fun to see what Hayato Junior Fujita could do if they could elevate somebody. I love me some Hayato Junior Fujita, guy who's trained under Kid Yamamoto and had to like MMA training with him. That's why he calls his guillotine the Kid. And his first ever match was against Katsuki Nakajima, which is insane to think about. And they're going to get the win. Flight Club. Yeah, like 7 minutes. Hayata Junior Fujita is going to be beating Master Wato. They are the first winners of the Gauntlet matchup. And then out come Carl Fredericks with Coughlin Connors, LA Dojo Boys. The House of Enochiism, if you will. And of course, yeah, we might as well keep Top Flight. And then Yano Junior Fujita. We're going to give this one 12. And Top Flight are going to get the win, actually. Dante's going to be beating Clark Connors. That's 2 in a row for him. And then, out to come Toru Yano, Tomoya Harada, and Sho. As a Flight Club, their short little stint stops here, though, unfortunately. As we're going to have, I don't know if it's going to be Sho, because Sho could really use a win. Probably Sho. He's going to pin one of the, probably Darius. Minutes. Sho. Darius. So the run of Flight Club, it was fun. But I think it could use now, as far as putting a stop to that. With now Chaos's next part, or their opponents are Suzuki-gun, Minoru Suzuki, Davey Boy, and Despy. And then we obviously Yano, Hirata, and Sho. Because Yo was hurt for 2 months. So that's just great. But Suzuki is going to get the win for his team over Hirata. I was thinking maybe Yano. Yeah, let's have him beat Yano, actually. That'd be fun. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. That would suck. That would really change this whole gauntlet. Then their opponents are going to be United Empire. And United Rage with Corey Jarvis, Suzuki, Davey Boy, and Despy. Minutes. And United Rage with Corey Jarvis, United Empire, will get the win. As the Great Khan will be beating Davey Boy Smith Jr. Because fuck yeah. Not even going to complain about it. Hell yeah. He's made it. The Great Khan has made it. But unfortunately, they have to run into the House of Torture team of Jay White, Miro, and Sasha Takeda. Bit of a killer squad. As they will be losing the United Empire. As Jarvis will be losing to probably Miro. Yeah, probably Miro. The 10-minute affair is maybe a little less than that. Maybe like a 6-minute matchup. And then, finally, out come the champs, Tamura, Kojima, and Tenzan. And they will be losing to the House of Torture. So we'll just go ahead and... that's right, we don't have them as a... So we'll just... Miro, Jay, actually, Miro, and Masashi Takeda. We'll give him like 11 minutes. Jay White over maybe Miro over Kojima. basically leading to maybe have him beat Tamura, actually. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Have him get that win back over Tamura after the New Japan Rumble, and we're going to have a singles match at New Japan's New Beginning show in the U.S. Yeah, I think and then we'll have one probably in Japan as well, to make it a little even, maybe. Oh, yes, for the belts. It was a nice little story to give, Hayata Tamura and Satoshi Kojima and Hiroshi Tenzan their little run as the Never Open Six-Man champs in 47 days, month and chunk of change, but I think it's time. They have one defense, so I think it's just time. All right. Oh wow, it's probably going to be a little longer than that, because this Team Filthy Foundation match is obviously going to have to be the technical masterclass, giving it 17 with Fred Yai beating Dominic Guarini. Yeah, oh my god, this show's going to be forever. Poor fellow. Oh, we did run Budokan here last time. Gonna be another 3 hours and 30-minute show. I guess we could cut down some of these matches. Like, yeah, this match maybe. Cut that down to like 8. Not that it matters now. I don't know why I'm trying to cut, but yes, after the Team Filthy Foundation matchup, I had to get back on track. Josh Alexander and Daniel Garcia have also had enough of some losing, taking out Filthy Tom and Guarini, leaving Team Filthy as I think them potentially. There's a lot of new stables now. You got Blast Off, you got Flight Club, you got a lot of different venues going around for them, as far as they can kind of see the writing on the wall, even though they won't when this happens. But still, I think these two need to kind of get away from Team Filthy. I think Team Filthy as a whole kind of should just kind of disband. We'll get rid of Guarini, unfortunately, and then we'll probably job out Filthy Tom on Strong and probably get rid of him. Just kind of the plan there. Turn their backs. This is what I get for trying to type in the dark. There we go. So we got to change probably a lot of shit from, another 15 segment thing. We had as many segments for fucking, oh my god, yeah, Daichi Morohama. Yeah, I think probably for the most part, probably cut some of these down, if we can. Yeah, cut this down to like 4. Oh my, never mind. 5 minutes, I guess. Yeah, 7. Yeah, just kind of a lot of these just yeah. I think that's good where we're at. So Daichi Morohama, back to the task at hand, and he's reffing the main. Assuming that didn't fix it, unless there's some other problems. No, still Daichi Morohama's used too much. Yeah, he also had that. So we'll have Marty Asami there. Alright. We won't have a pre-show. We got a lot of fucking matches already. All these people being used too much. You love to see it. So let's run the New Year's Dash. So 57 for the 8-man. It's Fred Yai tapping out Dominic Green with the Koji Clutch in 1703. So yeah, Sean Benjamin the 60, best guy in the match. Josh Alexander. Garcia and Filthy Tom did the same. King Mo did a little bit better. It's crazy, Biggie, Power E, not doing that great in that matchup. I had a feeling I was going to go bad. I just had a feeling. Just they didn't have anything really worthwhile as far as angles. But Flight Club beating Fujinami in 108 as or the Dragon 108 as Hayato Jr. Vegeta tabbing at Master Water with the kid in 455. Yeah, he just catches him with it and it's over. But yeah, 62 for Hayato Jr. Fujita. I figured so. Figured so. He did the same as Fujinami. 35 is Dante Martin with drummer's elbow. Well, that sucks. But it was a good performance, though, from the LA Dojo Kids, the House of Enochiism guys. As Carl Fredericks outperformed Darius. So did Alex Coughlin, and Clark did the same. But, yeah, Dante Martin pinning Clark Connors. You got to add his finishers. So 57, as Dante Martin's injury taking a big toll, but at least this is the end of the line for them. As Show with the power breaker over Darius Martin in 846. It's good stuff there for Chaos. 60 for Suzuki-gun against Chaos. It's a rear naked choke for Suzuki at 921. Yeah, Yano with a 61, 60 for Davey Boy. 55 for Minoru Suzuki, 51 for Show. And then 46 is for Despy and Arata. So 58 for United Empire against Suzuki-gun. As Great Khan tapping out David Boy Smith Jr. with the Cobra Clutch in 1147. Hell yeah. Great Khan. As, he outperformed Despy. Which is sad to think about, but that's the reality we live in, unfortunately. It's 67 for the House of Torture against the United Empire. Takeda over Corey Jarvis. Hell yeah. Yeah, Jay White, Miro, and Takeda. 75, 74, 60. Great O'Connor and Katsuya Kitamura, though. It's 53s and 51s. That's not bad. Not bad at all. 72 for the Never Open Weight 6-man title matchup. As Miro with the Bullplex over Hayato Tamura at 11:08. Yeah, I mean, Jay White, Miro doing really well. Takeda again. Hayato Tamura outperforming Masashi Takeda. Satoshi Kojima with the 51. And, of course, Tenzan Dragon Ass with a 39. But a really good Never Open Weight 6-man matchup. So I got shoulder tendonitis for Alexander Hammerstone as Ryu Lee beating Kaji D'Amato at the Desnukadora as what a win for Mexa Blood and building up to a junior heavyweight tag team title matchup. Yeah, I mean, we got 70 and 72 for Ryu Lee and Alex Shelley. It's a great sign. Flamita with a 63. He outperformed Ray Horace, so maybe it might be Flamita and Ray Horace instead in that junior tag matchup, just to make that a little bit better. But, yeah, I mean, Hammerstone's trying. He's still got a ways to go. But, yeah, Hanma with 43, 52 for Makabe. It is what it is regarding the old guard. But, yeah, Blastoff getting a huge win over Task Force Death, the Death Triangle, as a figure 4 leg lock for Fuminori Abe in 1944. Yeah, Takuya with a 53, and then Fuminori Abe and Jason Lee with 61s, respectively, each. Yeah, I mean, we're trying to give the rub off to the new team. They'll get a little logo and stuff, but just didn't want to. Had a bit time constraint, as I would say, for that logo. Plus, they were just debuting, so I feel like it's nice to debut that later on down the road. But very good performance there, even though they get outperformed. But a great starting point. 61 for Abe and then 53 for Takuya Nomura. That's pretty good for a starting off point. As an 84 for Dark Order against United Empires, Brody with the truck stop on Jonathan Gresham. Not even with the Brody bomb, just the truck stop. Zach with an 87, 76 for Brody, 68 for Makabe, 62 for Gresham, 60 for John Silver, and then 55 for Alex Reynolds. 82, wow, for the 8-man. I figured that would be better. That's crazy. As Bushi with the MX. As over Yoshihashi, 88 for Oromu, 87 for Naito, 81 for Sanada, 93 for Kazuchika Okada, of course. Rocky Romero with 57, 55 for Goto, and Bushi outperforming everybody else on Chaos is pretty hilarious. But yeah, just Okada over it. He's over it. He's had enough of the losing of Yoshihashi. I mean, he gives him a Rainmaker. The 83 main event, Shingo Takagi with the Pumping Bomber over Shotaro Shino in 25:57. Great win for Shingo. He's still in the mid-70s. We're trying with him, man. It's going to be like Go Shiozaki, though, in the Noah series, where he'll hit like mid-70s for like 3 months, and then he'll finally start clicking. But he literally has been, like, since basically the G1. He's been doing those ratings. But Tanahashi and Kendo with 84s. Shino with 83. 75 for Joe Doring. 67 for Shibata. 71 for Ishii. And then 61 for Eddie Kingston. And the post-show angle did really well, too. Oh, yeah. Death versus death. About to come to blows. Had to get a pull apart. And everyone bickering at each other. 81, though. Another, very much story-driven shows again. We got people now, of course, being New Year's Dash. We had to have some surprises, had to have some debuts, had to have some returns, had to have some turns. It's everything. We got it all wrapped up into one. And that will do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. And on to Fantastica Mania now. We have one match already set up. So that's a lot of fun. And I think as far as Caristico, Jason Lee seems like a pretty fun matchup to do on a Fantastica Mania, just to kind of bring back Caristico again, like when we had him and Pac in the last year. So it just kind of makes sense. And yeah, there I won't give away what we're gonna do with Okada and Yoshihashi, but that will be on the card as well. It might even be the main because it's gonna be Kazuchika Okada involved in that matchup. But we shall see. As we'll catch you guys there. Take care, everyone.